case you have missed anything. And also, my DMs are always open. You have a question you want to ask me, and you're not so certain about asking that question in the group, my DMs are always open for you, right? My DMs are always open. So you can always come in. I don't bite. And to the best of my ability, I will always respond to you. So I had one or two challenges, verifying my account. I think I just got the email this night. They sent the reason um why they cannot, um um you see, they asked me to resubmit some documents. I'm honestly not um ready for, because um for it, but either ways it's not going to stop us. And the only downtime is I don't use third party email marketing system. I actually use Alibaba SES, quite a very advanced, like I have a custom built email marketing system. So I can't use that to actually teach you email marketing, because that is a very advanced part of email marketing that, in fact, it is very hard to handle, very hard to build. And that is actually what I use for my own email marketing. So I cannot possibly, teach us all of, like, use that to teach us. But either ways, it is still not bad, right? It's still not bad. I think they are rejecting because the problem is they said that you see that my website is not working and all that. So yes, the website is not live because we're doing some restructuring and all that. So but either ways, it's all good. So let's look at automations. Now, when we say automations, what do we mean by automations in email marketing? So automations means that you are triggering something to work for you, whether you are sleeping. I don't want to say whether you are dead, forgive me. But in email marketing, as long as you have set up your automations, and even if you have data, or you don't have data, your email your emails or your automations will always go through. Now, the key purpose of automations in email marketing is for it to do the job for you. When we say automations, we mean that if this condition is not met, do this. If that condition is met, do this at this time, right? That is just what automations is all about. So now look at, set it up once and let it do the work. So the moment you set automations, it will do the work for you. It's a one-time thing. You don't have to stress yourself again, right? So it says automate welcome, anniversaries, birthdays, use link triggers to activate email workflows, and a lot of things, right? So sell more products with abandoned cart email. So all you need to do is click on create, right? So now most automations has templates as well, but one thing I don't do is to teach you using a template. I like to teach you from scratch, because the moment you understand, hello, someone said they can't hear me. Please, another person should confirm. Can you hear me? Hello, please, can you hear me? Good. Pearl says she can hear me. So one thing I always say is, when you cannot hear me, leave the class and come back. You would hear me. Sometimes it's your network right? And then sometimes it's even the settings on your phone. Always go and set your sound to peak, right? Okay, good. Thank you. So I always prefer to teach you from scratch, because when you learn with templates, you will not understand the principles. But the moment you understand the principles, you'll be able to work with the template. So we'll click on create from scratch. So the first thing is you give this a name. Now, in this case, I'll give it welcome. Okay, I'll just give it project 20K welcome emails, right? So, and I'll click on start. So you always have to give it a name. That is very important, right? So you give it a name. So it brings out this blank canvas for you, and you're going to start your workflow. So it says set up a workflow trigger. Now, let me still explain what a workflow means. Now, let me give you a simple example. Let's say that from the bus stop, okay, let me give the example. You want to go to your office, right? You want to, I'm actually looking out for a very relatable example. Okay, let me use your house. Now, in your house, let's say that you stay in a one-bedroom apartment, and in that one-bedroom apartment, there is the front door and there's the kitchen door, right? Now, in the idea of workflow is either the kitchen door or the main door would lead you to the house, but there are certain conditions. Now, let me put the conditions. The conditions are, if a visitor come to our house, please, they will not pass through our kitchen. They will use the front door. If it is me, I don't see the need to use the front door. I will use the kitchen door to access the house. That is just the simple idea around workflows and trigger, right? That if this condition is met, do this. If this is not met, do this rather. Simple and short. And you can set conditions. You can set, even if it's 1 million conditions on one workflow, it is fine and good, right? So the first thing you do is you click on now you want to set up your trigger. So you come in here to your trigger and say, what is the first thing? It says add up to 3 triggers. Define which actions will start with your subscribers journey. So for MailerLite, it allows you to do 3 triggers. I think for Brevo allows you to do like 10 or so. I don't know why MailerLite reduced theirs to 3. So now when a subscriber joins, you can say when a subscriber joins, which is this. Now, when a subscriber joins this group, now remember that I'm coming. Let me open my MailerLite again in another tab and explain this to you, right? So let me just open it and let's look at our audience and explain that, right, properly so you understand. So what we are simply saying is, when, let's say that somebody lands in, and based on my subscribers or on my grouping, which is coming back in here, right, based on my group, remember that we created 3 groups, right? Remember we created 3 groups, and in these 3 groups we said make money, email marketing, Canva. So right, so coming back in here, I would say when a subscriber joins groups, but at this point, remember I have 3 groups and I only want to segment for make money. So I'm going to come here and I would say the groups here, I would exclude Canva and email marketing, right? And say when a subscriber does this, right? When a subscriber joins that is He joins based on my grouping of make money. Now, what is the next thing I want it to do? I can still come in here and add another trigger if I want to, of which I don't want to do that for now. So I'll just delete this and explain. Now, the next thing you have is allow subscribers to repeat the same workflow. Now, when enabled, subscribers can trigger the workflow every once 24 hours, right? So what it simply means is I am triggering to say that when they join this group, they can do it over and over again, which is not what I want, because I just want them to be on this list once. Unless you want people to be able to keep joining and joining and joining and joining. And at the end of the day, you will end up having 5 people, one person with 5 emails in here if you accept these options. If you want them to repeat the workflow every 24 hours, they can trigger the same workflow, right? So I don't want that. So all I do is I'll click on save, right? So then when I click on save, it looks like in your profile. So it's still asking for some things, right? So I'll come in and initially I'm going to get I'm supposed to turn on this up, right? I'm supposed to turn this up, which is to make it live. But remember that my account is on demo, so I will not be able to do that, right? Now, remember I said when subscribers join groups and I excluded this group here, what next should happen? So I'll click on this add to and add it. So what is the condition I want to add here? Right? What is the condition I want? We have email, we have delay, we have condition, we have actions, we have webhook, we have A/B testing. So logically, look at what I do. Instead of triggering emails so that it does not count my system as spam, I would say when a subscriber joins this group, that means on my form, the subscriber went to come and join my make money form. I want this to happen. So I'll come in here and add a delay, right? And on my delay, I can put my delay to minutes and say, I will tell it to wait. So when they join that list, I can put 2 minutes. I'll tell them to wait for 2 minutes and save, right? I'll tell them to join 2 minutes. So you can see that our workflow is increasing, right? Then what should they do after 2 minutes? I will add my pencil and put my email. So after 2 minutes, I want them to receive the first welcome email on. So I'm talking about make money. So there are keywords. Please don't always use keywords like money. When you use money, they would count your emails as spam. So welcome to project 20K. Maybe I just want to add freelancing series. So that's my welcome email, right? This is the name. So I can give this still the name of my subject, and I can decide to add the tag. And remember I told us, I think it's dollar, it's a dollar sign and name. That's me triggering the name action, right? So where is this email coming from? I can decide to put the name or whatever I want to put, and then design the email. So when I click on design the email, it's going to open a dashboard that allows me to do the emails I want to send. So it brings me back to the point where, remember where we came here yesterday, and you design your email template, right? So I'm coming, let me just say welcome to, I'm using my so I'm back here to my ChatGPT, and I just want to do this. Welcome to, okay, so I need a sequence. Don't mind me, I just want something as fast as I can use. For freelancing series for project 20K subscribers. So let's say this is what I want. So I just want it to generate a sequence for me. So sequences means that I want it to be able to generate. Remember, we're talking about automation. So look at what I will do. So I'll come in, let's say, okay, I'm coming. Let me just have few numbers and all that. So I'll just stop it here, please. So I'll just put I need a welcome sequence first. So I just want to put because it missed the welcome sequence here. So what I want to do is I want it to give me a welcome sequence that I'm going to use. So I'll just come back to my email. So remember yesterday we talked about all this. So I'm not going to stress myself doing so much here. I'll just edit this. Oh, really? I'm coming. Welcome to freelancing. I just want to be as fast as I can. So I'll just put whatever I just want to put and show us, right? So this is not how you do your own, please. So I'm just showing us an instance, right? So this is just what I have, right? And then I'm going to click on done editing just to show us the purpose of our class. Now, in email marketing, we have what we call sequences. And sequences means that in our automation means that the series of what people follow are called sequences. Now, remember that we said that when subscribers join the group make money, we excluded Canva and email marketing. When they join and wait after 2 minutes, they will receive the first welcome email welcoming them about the freelancing series. Why? Because we're talking about making money. Right? We're talking about making money. Then the next thing, you can still click on it and say that, okay, condition. Now I will do a conditioning. Now when I say condition in programming, I mean that if A is achieved, do this. If not, do that. And that is why you have a green and this. And I'm going to now add, look at, I'm going to do something. I'm going to add a pencil tool and put a delay. So on my delay now, I can say, good. On my delay, let me click on it. If they have read my email, look at what I want to do. After 1 day, I'll put 1 day and say, this is sequences now. I'm building sequence. I would say, on this condition, if after 2 minutes, they receive this email, the welcome email, and then I added a condition statement stating that if after a day of which means that the day they receive this email, I want you to understand something. If somebody joins this same Make Money series in 2026, it is not going to take him to what I started in 2026. It's going to take him from where I started in 2025. So which means that when people are in 2027, this person will be receiving the series of 2026. And that is why we said in automation, you do it once and it is forever. You don't have to worry. So it's not like social media posts that when you do it, you have to keep coming back, tweaking and all that, right? So let's come back to our conditions and say, if after 1 day they do this, that is, I'm coming, I've added the condition, right? Action. I'll now put a action to it. And what is my action? I'll come in and say, let me see. Okay. So let me delete this first. I'm going to do this. So if the condition is, I'm coming, good, I missed this. So clicking on condition, I'm sorry, I actually missed the condition. I'll put a rule to it, which is all. I'll put a rule, and what is the rule? I'll select any rule and say if they read, I want to look at it. Why am I not seeing? I'm coming. All rules. Um, so any rule means that they achieve a particular condition, and all rules means that they must do all these conditions, right? So I'll pick on any rule and put now campaign activity, right? And in this campaign activity, I want to state, where is the campaign? Okay, it's because I don't have a campaign. So let me check workflow. Good. So now campaign activities means that, remember that in email marketing where I shared, where we talked about our campaign. So we don't have an active campaign, and that is why it didn't pick the campaign, right? So, but if I choose campaign activity, it will state that if the person read a specific campaign, then it's going to give me the segmentation. But in this case, I don't have, because this account is not verified. And okay, sorry, this is the campaign, and this campaign is still on draft. It's not yet, you can see, it's not yet live. If it was live, I would have seen it here, and it's going to give me the list of the campaigns. Then it's going to add another condition to me. But because I don't have any, I'm going to come here and trigger workflow activity. And this is what I want the workflow activity to be. If they read the welcome to project 20K sequence, which is this email, right? If they check this email, do this, right? Now look at the actions. Have any link, click. Have a specific link, click. Did not have a specific link, click. Was not open, was opened with no links. So this is to tell you that if they clicked on this, or if they open it, and in this case, I want it to be opened, that is, they opened the first email, what should happen, which is they open this email on this condition after 1 day, with a delay of what after 1 day, let them get this email again. So I can come in here and add another email again in here, and I would say, so coming back to my sequences that it gave me. Remember that it was supposed to give me a 10-day skill to cash journey. So I can come in here and say maybe the first one, which is the freelancing mindset. And the freelancing mindset, and I'm going to come back here and give it that topic. So I'll just give it this subject and leave it. So which means that if these people read this email, that is the condition, within 1 day, right? So which means that if they don't read this after a day, they will not receive this email too that I want to send to them. So you can set your condition to however number of days you want to, right? Then the second condition is I will come back here and click on this part of this condition, click on the pencil tool and add a delay and say that if after, so this is the delay, how many days do I want it to delay? I can put 2 days. What are you doing that you're not going to read the welcome email in 2 days? So if they don't read this email after 2 days, look at what I will do. I will still come back in here and add another action, right? Which is I'll come in here, right? I'll come in. Remember, we added a delay, right? Which is we added one condition here first. What was the condition? We said that if they read the email here, this should happen, right? So I can still come back here. I can still come back here and do this. Now I'll select any rule and add it again and say workflow activity, and I will select, right, and say if they did not read the project 20K series, so I'll put the project 20K series here. What should happen? I will still select this and say was not opened. That is the condition. Was not opened after 2 days. That is the delay here, or here, which is the condition of if they did not open this in 2 days, what should happen, right? What should happen? So let me save this. What should happen? So coming back after, wait after 2 days, they didn't read this thing after 2 days. I can send another email to them with what? And I'll put maybe a reminder or something, right? I can just put a reminder and give it a name again. Maybe now I can decide to do another A/B testing on it and save. So remember, this is our workflow. When someone joins our email list, which is the Make Money email list, after 2 minutes, send them this welcome series. Now, after they have sent them this welcome series, I came here and added a condition. And what is the condition? The condition is, right? The condition is two. It is either they read or they didn't read. So if they read after 1 day, send them an email to talk about freelancing. If they did not read after 2 days, send them a reminder to read this email. Simple and short. It's as simple as that. And then you can still come back here again and put another. I can come in here, click on this, and add another condition here. And what is the condition? I can say that if they read this email, right? If they opened this email, so let's say that after the 2 days, they got this email and they decided to read it. Here is the condition. I will send an email to them. So I'll come here, right, and decide to trigger an email to them, right? Or if I don't want the workflow to be long, I can do this. I can come here first, put the condition. I'll put the rule first. I would say any rule here, and I'll click workflow and say, if what is the activity, right? Remember that I want to send them, this is the second email. I gave it, okay, I'm coming. What was the, okay, now welcome to, I'm coming, sorry. What was the name for this? Okay, I didn't give it a name. So let me just give it a name. Series 1, right? So freelancing. I just want to give it a name so that I'll be able to pick it, right? I'll just click on save, right? So this is the series 1. So I'm going to come here on my condition. I'll put any rule and pick the workflow activity and say, why is this thing not showing now? Okay. Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming, just a moment. I'm coming. Let me do something. Let me just check something. Okay. Just a moment. Let me look for that. Let me just look for it now. This always works better with my campaigns. So it wants me to come back and add it here. I wanted to just bypass it and use this, right? So it's now telling me that look at what is happening. So let me explain it. So it's not allowing me, when I broke this, it's not picking this. But if it was a campaign that you used, like you came here and set up the campaigns here, it would have been very easy for me to pick it right under this place. So here is what it wants me to do. I need to come here and add it. So I need to add the email. So I'll come in here and add my email and say, this is the series 1. So if they have read, send series 1 to them on freelancing, right? On freelancing, send it to them. I would save it. But that is, so I'll come back here to my condition and say any of the rule, come back to my workflow, select it. Why is this thing not picking now? So I don't know why it's not picking this. It's supposed to pick this. So I'm coming. Any rule? That's a moment. So let's pick the workflow, and it's not supposed to be a reminder. I just don't know. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just trying to look at how to bypass this. So I just want to, let me just do something. Let's try to bypass this. Let me do something. So I'm going to come here. I'll click on this and come in. Let me add an action. So I'll define this action here. So just a moment. I don't know why they changed this thing. So all I just need to do is I can just come in and say this is not what I want. It wants me to actually just come in and add the email. So let me give it an email. So let's just do it this way. So let me just say series 1. This is just what it wants me to do. And I was actually bypassing this, right? So if the condition is met, right, they are going to, that is automatically when this tick is already on a green, it means that the moment they open this email, they will get this, send them this, right? And you can come in again and decide to add a timer to it. You might give it a delay and say, when they read that, come in here, give it minutes. I can just decide to make it 5 minutes. So in between 5 minutes, when they have opened this, when they have opened this reminder, right, within 5 minutes, they should get this email. Now, somebody that did not read the first welcome email, you sent a reminder in 2 days, the person did not read. You know what I'm going to do? I'll come here now and say that I'll add a condition here and say any rule and put this workflow activity and say, if they did not read welcome to project 20K series, they didn't even open it, was not open, right? They did not open it totally, all the emails, starting from all the emails at the top, right? That is for project 20K, which is this first one. They didn't open the first one. Add another condition, workflow activity. They did not open the reminder, or only them, they didn't open it. What do I want to do? I'll come in and add an action. And what is this action? I will define this action and mark them as I will unsubscribe them automatically, because okay, you didn't open the first one, you didn't open the second one. Which one will you now open? So what will now happen is it will remove these people automatically from my email list. Right? It will remove them from my email list, and I can decide to just leave it here. Why? I can now come back here again and say, after, let's say I want to be sending emails every 7 days, I will come back and say every 7 days now and save it. So then my next second series, which is another email, the series 2, right, can drop. So I can just give it freelancing 2. Please be creative with your topic or with your subject. Don't mind me. I'm just using this because this is an example, right? So, and then you design your email. So after 7 days, send this. Then let's say again, you can come in here again and add a condition. So it is a repetition of series. So you can come back and repeat what has happened. And before you know it, your email marketing system will be very big, because again, you can come back and add another condition the same way you did, and you go on and on and on again. So later it keeps breaking itself, and over again, right? So that is actually what the automations in email marketing is all about. And If you want to do even up to 100 series on the welcome, you can do it. When you are done, you click on save, right? So I don't want to add this condition, so let me delete this because I was just showing us an instance. So at every point, you're going to see a report of everything that has happened at every interval, how many people joined, how many people. So everything, you will get all details about it, right? So you click save and close if you don't want to actually work with that. So you can have as many, so you can see it's not yet live, it's on my draft. You can have as many automations as you want to have on your email marketing, right? So I remember yesterday I talked about saying, I want us to talk about lead generations in email marketing. So you're just joining now, right? You're actually going to get replaced because I cannot possibly go back. Amadi, I can't go back. Ah, I'm very exhausted. I cannot actually go back. So, but we actually had a very amazing part of automations, right, in email marketing. So we had a very interesting part on automations. So yeah, so don't worry, you would get the replace. The replace should be available. Please, in case I don't drop it, always go back and check on YouTube at least in the next 2 hours. Sometimes I just put it and I go to bed. So it drops. And so if you are there, you would actually, if you follow on the series, you're going to actually see that. So tomorrow we're going to look at, I don't actually want to take lead generation separately because I want to be able to send campaigns. So I need to go back and make sure that my account has been approved. I need to get it approved first. Then I'm going to show us how to actually set up a free lead generation magnet that you can actually use to drive to build your email list. Because I remembered somebody asking me, how do you build an email list? And I told you that I'm going to use a very live um, thing to do, right? We're just going to use a very live practical for it. I like to always do my things, live so that you understand how to do it. So tomorrow we would properly look at lead generation as a topic, using email marketing to draw or to attract leads, right, for your market. And so please, do we have any questions? Do you have any questions you actually want to ask me? Do you have any question? So I've given out so I've allowed you to send in your to open your mic. So please, do you have any question you want to ask before I go to bed? Though my people, I'm very exhausted. So all right, your hands are up. Please kindly unmute
Good
and
evening, Ma. Thank you very much for your time. And
evening.
I don't think I can do what you're doing. I mean, jumping from one class to the other. But my question is just this email marketing. I just
Yeah.
want to know at what point does this sink in? Because right now it's not as though it's not going in, but it's like it's going in and it's a bit confusing. So at what
Confusing.
point does it like settle in?
Okay, at what point? To be honest, I think it's just at a point when you practice more. The email marketing is actually simple. In fact, let me tell you the truth. Email marketing is, to me, is way easier than social media marketing because I actually didn't even want to put social media marketing because of what a lot of people are teaching on social media marketing is actually not social media marketing. And I can beat my chest to it. What they just teach you is how to post and all that. Social media marketing is even way deeper than that. And I can tell you that email marketing is easier. And what do I mean by it being easier? There are just three things in email marketing you need to understand. Number one, you just need to understand how to do your segmentations, which has to do with your subscribers. How do you segment your subscribers? Right? And I remember I talked about that in day one. So your project 20K, for example, June cohort, I can have July cohort, August cohort, September. So I can break my email list into different categories. So you need to understand subscribers. Then you need to understand automation. Automation is one of the trickiest part of it, but I just believe that the easiest way to understand automation, when I started, it was one of the hardest things for me, right? But I wish I can show you a notebook where I was learning automation. I have like a 60 notebook. I started email marketing about 2019 or so. So at that time, there were not even good courses on email marketing. So you just have to learn these things almost all on your own, right? So the first logic to understanding automation is a very simple thing. You ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? I used to say, see the end from the beginning. For example, you want to do a welcome series. How many emails do you want to send in that welcome series? You want to send 5 emails now. How many days do you now want to send the 5 emails? You want to do 2 emails per week. So it means that in about 3 weeks, you should finish 2.5. You should finish five welcome sequences. So how many days do you need to put these sequences, right? At what interval? What is the conditions you need to put? So it is just you understanding step by step, the same way you want to go to the sky. You're not just going to from the top, you jump to the sky, unless you have spring. Even with spring, I believe there's something that comes with, you don't just go on the first bounce and go to the top. It is a thing of process and you taking up ladders and steps into it, right? So when you take in from this point, from step one, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve in step two? What do you want to achieve in step three? What is the condition? Remember, I told you in email marketing, you spend money. Would you want to keep sending emails to people that don't read? If they don't read, you flush them out from your email list. So you set up conditions in that aspect. Then the next thing is you understanding campaigns, right? And campaign simply means you sending emails. So emails like on Salah Day, they are not sequences because you don't know when Salah would be. Salah can just happen they don't have a constant date. It's not like Christmas that is 25th December. So you can come in and set a campaign for 25th December to wish people happy Christmas. For 20 this, wish them happy New Year and this. So that is just what campaigns are. Campaigns can be broadcast messages because they are not sequences. So the first top thing is you need to understand that campaigns usually are like a one way thing, while sequences are something that when you set them once, they as long as somebody triggers on that thing, it continues to go forever. So that is just the simple logic that comes to understanding email marketing. And if you don't understand it again, my DMs are always open. As I said, you can always send me a DM. I would always respond. I will always try to explain to the best of my ability, right? So Amadi, I believe I'm pronouncing that name correctly. You're welcome, Pearl. So okay, Amadi, your hands are up. Please, can you ask your question?
Okay, good evening.
Evening.
Mine is not really a question, but I know I came in late. Maybe I will go through the class.
Yeah.
is being posted on YouTube. Mine is
Yeah.
just a after this training. I
Yeah.
don't know. Can you at least help us with if we can have a mentorship, please, most so that some of these things you're showing us, we can easily call back your attention. I know you're kind of busy. If we can have a way where we can call your attention and ask some questions and all that, because I know today I was trying to work on an Google business, Google My
Okay.
Business today. And I was hung somewhere. I
Oh,
made a comment on the group and for you
oh,
to
okay.
assist and all that.
I've not even checked because honestly, I've been working since about 9 a.m. this morning. So sometimes I just try to turn off and make sure I'm not on social media till in the night, right? So I'm just trying to, work on my time so that I don't get so carried away. So I will check in what you sent. Again, there's something I want you to understand. I might not be able to, I cannot promise like that whole time mentorship. But one thing I've promised to myself is that the group is not just going to die off, right? No, it's not going to. So we're going to leave it open so that even after the project 20K, you can always come in and drop your questions in there. As long as I am alive, right? I will always respond to it. So it's not just a 1 day or this 1 month time thing, right? You can always come in, respond to the best of my ability. I would always give out my response to it, right? So you joined late, so the recordings will be uploaded, and you can always go through to check on them. So that is it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So beautiful people, is there any other question before we call it a day? Are there any other question we want to ask? So, in the absence of no question, once please go back to our YouTube channel in about 2 hours and check the recordings in case I don't drop it in the group, because sometimes it's like I told you, if I set it up on going live, I go to bed. So please just go in